Here we are again. Well done, Sir Nigel. Right, this one is called Be More Dog, as in Diogenes the Dog, because it's a bit like everything we've been doing. The Be More Happypreneur show. All the stuff about happypreneurship and the philosophy of happypreneurship, and of course the book, The Happypreneur, with contributions from all my friends and famous friends and various things about how you can be happy in your life at least 80% of the time. And inspiration is really important of that, but in order for you to have daily inspiration, it is our belief that you have to have your own philosophy. Now, don't think about that heavy thinking stuff and all that difficult thing. What happens in philosophy is everybody pinches from everybody else. And so basically, I've pinched a lot from this person, Diogenes the Dog, and the Stoic movement. You know, with the greatest emperor in the world, the last of the good emperors, Marcus Aurelius, who wrote the Meditations. Absolutely fantastic work. He didn't read that to create a best-selling book. Those were his own meditations that somebody published hundreds of years after he died. It was the way he lived his life every single day, because you've got to have a philosophy in order to live your life in an inspirational, useful, motivational, doing things for others, we is more important than the I, way of actually getting on with life. And Diogenes came to the conclusion, he was a brilliant philosopher. I mean, so he's called the Dog because in the market area, they regarded him like a dog because he lived in a wine vat, which is something I could have been tempted to do a few years ago. But he lived in a wine vat, and he actually, when he realised that he could eat his soup just by using the bread, he threw his spoon away, because he believed that the less things that you've got to worry about, if you like, in your life, you can get on with living your life and doing things. It's one of the reasons that my poor family have suffered us downsizing 4 times, kind of thing, through things, because avoiding debt is one of the important things in the happypreneurship philosophy. Doing what you love doing and you're good at is another important thing in it. Now, a lot of those things that you love doing and you're good at may not be things you can make loads and loads of money about, but it's really important to have your own philosophy of doing things. So, for example, another one other than Diogenes the Dog, who was, he invented Alexander the Great about things like not being so up yourself. It's like what people from Hull do. I remember when I was like chief executive, I had big car, big salaries and various things, a big American corporation and various things. You go to Hull and they'd say, you're wearing that tie for a bet and things like that, because everybody in Hull is all about putting people down that think they're too big for the boots. So get your own philosophy, and the way to start off getting your own philosophy that you'll live every single day for is what we call the V in V, which is values, influence, who you're influenced by, how you influence other people, and the E is for enterprise and the happypreneurship side. But the most important thing is V, because all these philosophers in antiquity believed in one thing, and that was virtue. And they believed that that was the way we lived a fulfilling, a happy life, if you like. Maslow, it's a self-actualization stuff at the top. But in order to actually be okay and actually achieve all the things that you want to do and be inspired and go out and do things every day, you've got to actually care of the main things. You've got to care for your family, you've got to care for got enough food for them and yourself, you've got to have warmth and shelter and various things like that, even if it's in a wine vat. So it doesn't matter, but the more you've got all that under control, the more you can actually go to do inspirational things every day for other people. And it's really important. So Diogenes the Dog, happypreneurship philosophy, it's all the same thing. Create your own philosophy and start off by thinking, what is your purpose, what is important to you, what makes you get up in the morning and actually want to do things every day, and list the values list those values. There's 10 in happypreneurship. List those values. I'm called the Oracle of Happypreneurship, and my friend Josiah in the States got the best band I've ever come across, and they're called the Slambovian Circus of Dreams is his band, and he's the Oracle of Slambovia. And the whole band has been based on 40 years of its own philosophy. It's independent, it's free, it won't sign up with record labels, it does wonderful things for other people. It's created a whole community around the world, and I'm an ambassador in the UK for the Slambovian philosophy. So you create your own philosophy, and that is what's going to actually be the framework for every day, and it's a wonderful thing. And you don't need to be an overthinker or to get involved in reading lots of books. You just need to write down, what do I value? What are the things that I want to do, rather than think about things that you don't want to do. And then you'll be inspiring to others as well every day.